Welcome to the Ripley Valley State Secondary College Raptor Dome for Round 1 F-League fixtures in the women for 2026. The season kicks off here in the home of futsal in Ipswich with Ipswich FC donning a new looking green and bottle kit, and Arana FC rejoining the league for the first time since 2022. Two of the original F-League combatants since its rebirth in 2021. Ipswich have been in all 6 seasons so far with mixed success as we've gone along. Arana, like I said, last played here in 2022, but are back for the 2026 season. We'll quickly run through the team lineups for today, and then we will get you to the action on court. For our visitors, the Arana team, Arana United, number 2 will be Apps, number 4, Isabel Weeb, number 8, Emily Weeby, number 10, War, number 15, former Ipswich keeper Catherine Kirkwood will be in goals for the blue and red, number 42, Haggerty, and number 46, Woodford. And for the hosts, lining up today, a very young-looking, fresh-faced Ipswich team. Number 1, Williams, will be the backup keeper. Number 2, Naidu. Number 4, the talisman and stalwart of the team, Leverton. Number 5, the captain, George. Number 6, McNamara. Number 8, Harney. Number 9, Yates. Number 12, Ayana. Number 13, Parry. Number 15, Kiara White. Number 16, Ella White. Number 22, number 20, Stevens, and number 66, the goalkeeper, Kamelkis. Referees giving each other a high five. This year's version of the F-League will have 4 officials at each game. The timekeeper at the desk keeping an eye on the clock as we move on and off the court with the stop clock process. The 2 referees on court, R1 and R2, and a 3rd referee who will be perusing the benches and making sure, liaising with the coaches and making sure substitutes happen correctly. On your screen you will see Ipswich. They'll travel from right to left this afternoon for the first half. They'll be wearing the white with the green shorts and the white socks, whilst Arana going left to right. They will be in the blue and red shirt, white shorts and red socks. All seems to be in readiness for the first F-League fixture of the 2026 season for these 2 teams. And the referee gets us underway, and it is Arana with the ball early on. Trying to find a way through. The ball just plays its way to the Ipswich Fixo George, and looks to find McNamara. Rolls the ball out wide. As the plays, Yates there loses possession as the game goes on. I'll pick up the players and the names, and we'll all learn together. The corner from there, cleared from Ipswich. And McNamara gets a foot in, kicks the ball away, and the ball, it's a foot through the legs of War, and it goes out over the sideline for an Arana ball. Getting a little step over there, intentional or unintentional, doesn't really matter. Still a step over, and the game continues. George looks to find someone. She finds Yates on the right. Looks to cut across to the centre of the court. She has McNamara. She doesn't drop it off there. She goes through, but Wall picks her off. Drops it off to McNamara. Goes back to George in the far corner of the court. Finds Yates. Yates was not marked through the centre of the court. Now that ball found her. It may have been a different story, but didn't quite happen this time around. Ball played forward. McNamara there defends well, but it does come off her foot. And the foot of Woodford in the end. So it is McNamara's ball. Referee making that call. Woodford doesn't quite agree, but that's the way things go sometimes. to risk the ball out there, but McNamara picks it up. She's got Yates peeling up to the right. She goes straight down the middle. It looked like it might have come off the hand of the fixo from Arana there, but she transitions quickly down the court, and George picks her off there. Ball dropped off there to number 8, who is Emily Wiebe. She's picked off by George, and they go shoulder to shoulder, and Wiebe sees it out safely over for the keeper's ball. KK with the ball now. She goes wide left. Passes then straight through the centre of the court to Apps, but Apps gets picked off by George, who then presses the high player there, Emily Wiebe, and wins the kick in. Ball from McNamara over the top. Finds, that's Ella White, and the shot from Ella White is saved over the top from Kirkwood, and the score remains at 0-0. A little bit of enterprise there from McNamara with the flick over the top. The third official just moves out of my way. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. White with the ball. She goes, went to go diagonal to McNamara, ricocheted off the knee of Apps, and Apps' ball is picked off. The square ball was picked off by McNamara, but just dribbles over the end line. On the far side of the court, dropped off. Apps with it again. She turns with it back to the goal, drops it off to her fixer, or flanker on that side. George doesn't quite make the tackle on the near side here under the camera. And the ball from War flies across the face of the goal. So Emily Wiebe, Apps, George, and Woodford on still for.
Go talk! Who have you got?
Arana.
Communication!
Still the same starting lineup as well for Ipswich. Oh, sorry, Leverton's on. George is taking rest, and Leverton is on for Ipswich. Yates out, presses the far side, which is Woodford, and the ball goes out for a side ball. McNamara comes off now, and it is number 12, Arana, on the court. Takes a touch, looks up. Goes to Leverton, who goes across court to White. The ball didn't make it, and then it picked up twice there by Arana. Her pass was picked up by Emily Wiebe. Nothing came, War, and nothing came of it. Ball to Leverton down the side. Yates getting herself in a little physical battle there with Emily Wiebe. Doesn't quite fall the way of the Ipswich players at the top there, but it is their ball from the side. Down the line is Arana, across court is Leverton, at the back post is Yates. It's Ella White on the ball. Knocks it off to Arana, back to White. White turns down the line, takes a touch inside, doesn't quite beat War. War holds strong and wins the kick in.
Aaron, next one, okay?
Ball pinned into the corner here at the moment. Ipswich pressing well. Leverton tries to play a little 1-2 with Yates, but there was a 1, but there was no 2. Ball played across the court here. Find their way out to Woodford. Woodford goes across to 42, who is Haggerty, that's just come on the court. And the touch intervention there from Leverton sees it out. Number 4 is Isabel Wiebe, that's on the court, and she almost makes something happen straight away with her first touch. But a scramble save there in the D from the keeper, Kamelkis, and her defenders. Sees the ball out safely for Ipswich. Ball to nobody there. White plays it out to Yates. Yates takes 1-2 touches, goes around her defender, keeps it in, still around her defender, gets it on the right foot, plays it square, and ooh, the outstretch of Ayana, the outstretched left foot at the back post, doesn't quite make it. But wonderful movement from Yates down that right side to just have the speed to burn the defender, get the ball across. Doesn't quite make the connection at the back post there, Ayana, without the stretch. Did well, just not quite enough. The White sisters have switched positions. Ella White is now on the court and Kiara White is on the bench. Ella White is number 15. She's here. She is free. Gore goes to Ayana. Just eludes her. And they reset. Kirkwood goes to the far right. The ball eludes Isabel Weeby. Naidu on the court now for Ipswich. Yates takes a break. Leverton looks up. She's got Naidu right. And White left. She'll go around. Naidu drops back into the futsal. And Woodford goes straight through the back and wins the kick in. Much to Leverton's disagreement. Movement from Arana. Ball picked off by Naidu. She gets a toe on it. Goes around the defender. Plays it out to White. She looks up. Tries to go across court. It doesn't quite happen. Leverton now beaten 1v1 by Woodford. Woodford goes across to Haggerty. And Haggerty, the ball is just out of the reach of Haggerty and runs over the sideline. So both teams creating a few half chances so far. Ipswich was the best, didn't quite happen. Now they push forward again. Naidu and Leverton, back and forth down the right side. Naidu jams to the middle, that's where Karen is. And White goes forward. She takes a deflection from the Kirkwood save. But it does end up with out over the back, past the back post. Good chase there from White. Good keeping there in the end from Kirkwood. Loose ball there from Arana. Ball's at Leverton's feet. She's looking through the centre of the court. That's where she finds her player, Ayana. She dropped it off to White and the ball gets pinched by Isabel Weeby. But out over the sideline. Leverton again. She looks up. Again, Naidu right. The ball doesn't make it to her. Picked off by Woodford. And then Ayana smashes the ball into the legs of Woodford for a Ipswich kick in from the side. Brings it all the way back in front of the bench for Ella White. She goes down the light to Ayana. Ayana goes to the near post. Kirkwood makes a save. Ayana with a follow-up shot. And it fires off to the left. Apps back on now. Woodford on. Woodford off. Good stint from Woodford to start the season. Ball from Kirkwood long down the centre. She finds Haggerty. Haggerty met by Leverton. Leverton picks it off in the 1v1. Plays the ball across court to Ayana. Doesn't quite make it. Naidu picks off the rebound. And then the ball ricochets off an Arana foot. White now. She's got Naidu right. That's where she goes. Leverton is there as well. Naidu looks up. She's got Leverton and ran through the middle. She goes left to White. White looks up and doesn't quite get the pass, but interception from Haggerty takes a touch. White looks up. I don't know if that is 5 metres, but it is tight there. There are markings on the ground to help the referees out here at Ipswich. Ball played square to the top of the D. Press from Ipswich. Ayana and White. The ball does eventually go out off the foot of Isabel Weed. Another set of changes coming from Ipswich here. Naidu looks up. Got White right and Ayana left, and that's where she goes, and the ball just eludes Ayana. Leverton down the centre of the court. That's not where she goes, though. Ball is with Emily Weeby. They've split high and wide here. Both the Weebies on the pitch with Haggerty and Apps at the moment for Arana. Number 20 Stevens is on the pitch now for Ipswich. She holds the left sideline. The ball from Naidu. She travels down, picks off the pass to Ella White, and just touches White's foot on the way
For
out.
that throw. Can you look for it? Get in front.
Naidu
Get in
will
front.
draw in 3 or 4 defenders as she goes. See how the Ipswich girls play with her. That's off Apps there. And Ipswich ball on the far side. Leverton in that fixo roll. She looks up, goes straight down the centre of the court to Stevens. Pushed off the ball by by Emily Weeby. And the ball flies down the court. Haggerty not quite as fast as Kamelkis. I do apologise. White steps forward and puts enough pressure on Apps. And Ella White takes lead for Amelia Parry on the court for the first time in her F-League debut. Quite a few of the Ipswich girls making their F-League debuts today. The ball from Naidu picked off by Isabel Levy, and a little 1-2 between her and her sister end up in a shot which is deflected out for an Arana corner. Apps and Weeby down the line. Apps makes a dummy run, goes to Weeby, she hits the ball first time. Maybe just a little too narrow there, and then to open the angle up just a little bit more. Leverton drops it off to Naidu. She goes square to Stevens. She's got Parry down the line. That's where she goes. Parry takes a touch inside, and Kirkwood is there. Ball from Naidu, from Arana, errant out the back, and the ball from Leverton found the feet of Naidu, but the run from Parry and the pass from Naidu were not in sync. We have 12:20 left on the clock here. For those of us new to F-League in the 2026 season, the clock will stop every time the ball goes out of play. We play a 20-minute stop clock in the F-League. Every time the ball goes out of play, the clock stops, so we get 20 minutes of action on the pitch every single game. Naidu just being moved back there. Arana play the ball diagonal across court, and it is an Ipswich ball. George and Leverton have swapped at the back. George looks up, she goes over the top into the space, and Stevens is beaten to the ball by Emily Weeby. George again has Parry central. Naidu far left. Parry looks up. George makes a run through the centre. Stevens holds in the middle as well. George checks back, but the ball from Parry only fights the feet of Apps. And they rotate again at the back here, Ipswich. Tight affair to start the 2026 F-League season. Parry looks up. She goes to Naidu in the fixo position. She takes one touch. Goes over the top for a run from Parry. But Parry had paused her run, so didn't quite make it. But the idea was there. Little out ball there from Apps to number 10, who is War. The ball didn't make it back. It was intervened by George. She takes a touch. Goes straight down the centre of the court, but from 15 metres out, there was always going to be a tough shot. Ball runs out, over the sideline, into the commentator, and over behind the commentary desk. Naidu drops it off to Parry. Parry looks up, she's got George right, Stevens down the middle. She got to George right, Naidu rotates to the fixo. Stevens was the target there with the pass from George, and it was intercepted well from Arana. Instead, it's picked up now by Naidu. She goes right to Parry, but again, the Arana team, Apps in particular, Emily Weeby is picking up those runs and those diagonal balls from the centre of the court. Some movement there from Ipswich, but the Arana defence holds tight and holds tough yet again. The ball long from Kirkwood over the top to Parry. Parry's ball goes into the back of War, and Georgia War fires her shot to the left side. Yates is back on the court now for Ipswich, replacing Naidu on the court. Corner on the far side for Arana. They go down that narrow channel again. but the ball in relation to the body position of the player wasn't quite the same, and her shot from Emily Weavy is fired far and wide. George now with the ball, far side of the court, she drives. Ooh, looks for Parry to hold. Parry tried to drop in. Redson made a run out of the space and there was no player there. McNamara back on the court as well. Stevens has taken leave. Kamelka drops it to George. Yates drives through the centre of the court. The ball goes left to Parry. She drops it off right to McNamara. She takes a touch inside. Yates peels off. That's where she goes. She is well defended by Emily Weeby there. Dropped it. Drives it back into the court. And they reset. Parry holds right. McNamara's left. Yates looks up. She goes to Parry. Parry takes a touch down the line. She's got George there, but she goes diagonal to McNamara. Possibly rushed that a little bit, but that's okay. The ball is still with the feet of McNamara. She takes 1 or 2 touches and wins a corner. Ooh. Doesn't win a corner. She gives away a foul. It looked like a shoulder to shoulder from here, but the referee's in a better position than I am. Deep in the corner. Fires it into the back of McNamara and out over the sideline. Ball there, Yates picks it off, gives it to George. George looks up, she's got 3 in front of her. Down into the channel where McNamara is. The idea is right, she tried to drop it off to Parry, but the ball's just out of the way. And that has been the story of the first 10 minutes for Ipswich. They've done a lot of good things, but the ball is just a touch too far at the moment. It's an Ipswich ball off the sideline. Arana don't agree, but that is the way it goes. The referee is right in all instances, whether we agree or not.
Let's keep it. We're good enough.
Kirkwood now. She's got Woodford right, but she drops it off to a Weeby in the middle. I think that's Isabel Weeby, number 4 there. Ooh, George picks it off from Woodford, but Woodford comes back and gets it again. Got in George's way there a little bit, Parry. Ball to McNamara. McNamara tries to turn Apps. It doesn't happen. Wall with the ball. Tries to stand up Yates. Yates gets her buddy in front and just holds well. Gets a couple of little shoves and a big shove at the end, but the referees let it go. Parry having a break and Ayana back on. George drives down the centre of the court and the ball takes a deflection off War out over the sideline. And we're about to, the next time Arana get the ball, there will be a timeout for them. Leverton looks up. George has taken leave off the pitch. She goes short to McNamara into the centre. And the run doesn't quite continue from Yates. A little bit of miscommunication there. A new team from Ipswich. It's going to take a little time to gel, but they're going well at the moment. Creating chances, creating opportunities, and defending well. The shots from Arana, having trouble to keep it yet, but they are getting closer. The radar is narrowing in. Lebanon goes right to Yates. Yates looks up eventually. The ball gets stuck under her foot. Down the centre of the court is McNamara. It's an excellent run. She drops it back off to Leverton, goes back right to Yates, and they've moved the defence around enough. They goes down the centre of the court to Ayana, and Ayana just can't get on the other side of the defender. And it's well defended by Arana. Originally, the ball played back from ball ends up sort of at the feet of McNamara, but young Weeby, Isabel Weeby there, strong on the ball in the D, keeps her feet and clears it. Yates. She's got Leverton there. Leverton goes from the side. Kirkwood makes a save up high. An excellent save from Kirkwood. The shot from Leverton was dropping in over her head. And Ayana now with the ball in the corner for Ipswich. She looks up. She's got Leverton down the line. That's where she goes. Leverton again into the back of the on-running defender. She did have McNamara right, but she was pressed by War, so that wasn't an option at that time. Yates looks for the ball. It's coming from the 3rd official. 4th official. There are so many officials, it's nice. Oh, the ball from McNamara doesn't quite make it through her legs. Takes a deflection. It's a 2v3 here from for Arana. It's still a 2v3. Leverton and Iana do enough to stop them though, and they can't quite transition the other way quickly enough, but the ball bounces off the feet of Yates. Apps. And it is now at the feet of Iana. She goes diagonal through to McNamara. It doesn't make it, doesn't have enough power. The ball just rolling mid-court, waiting for somebody to take advantage of it. The ball again trickles out over the sideline and is with Iana. So 1 minute 20 game time has elapsed since Arana called for the timeout. They haven't had a dead ball situation yet, so they haven't been able to use their timeout. When it's the Arana dead ball, it will be their timeout. But the ball from War there ends up at the feet of Yates. Back to War, and they reset through Isabel Weavy. Yates presses her. The ball goes out to Woodford. She's picked off by Leverton. Leverton goes towards the near post. Can't quite get a toe shot away. Isabel Weeby steps in. The pass from Iana to Leverton off the court there was probably best to use that when it's not in game. And it drops back, gives herself some room so she can take a first time shot if the ball comes out. That's what she looks to line up to do. Doesn't quite happen. Ends up at the feet of the Arana player, and then through the legs of Iana. She trips and turns. The ball from 15 metres out there from War. She had no pressure coming. Could have taken 3 or 4 touches, but it doesn't. And has a shot from a long way out and misses wide to the keeper's left. Leverton drops it off to McNamara on the right. She tries to go down the line to Yates. Doesn't quite happen. The ball is flicked over a foot from Apps and eventually rolls out. 6:49 left in the first half here. And the Ripley Valley State Secondary College Raptordome, the home of Ipswich Futsal. Leverton drops it off to Iana. She looks up. She's got Yates left, Leverton right, McNamara down the middle. McNamara's blocked. She can create some space. Tries a little 1-2 with Leverton. Ball ends up deflected off Yates, and now will be the timeout for, and that is timeout. There's an Arana timeout there with 6:35 left on the clock. So a tight first 13 and a half minutes here in the Raptordome in round 1 F-League women's clash between Ipswich Futsal and Arana United. Locked at 0-0. One foul given away by McNamara deep in the corner. And she could have won a corner, but the referee saw it a different way. Creating some opportunities here are Ipswich. They're building up well. Their best opportunities have come from build-up play. And a little bit of 1v1 brilliance by Yates down the far side of the court. Whilst Arana are hitting on the counter. Their shots are coming from a long way out though. So far, keeper Kamelklis has not done too much in goals, but has the opportunity to keep going. So back on the pitch. Haggerty, Woodford, Apps, and Emily Weeby for Arana. McNamara, Yates, Iana and Leverton for Ipswich. Emily Weeby tries to cut inside. Yates uses her body well to stop that. The ball back to Kirkwood. They sit. Ipswich sit. Emily Weeby looks up. She goes right to Woodford. She looks up. Goes centre to Haggerty. Her pass is errant. Ends up at the feet of Yates. Got some time to reset here, Ipswich, and they do that just on their own side of halfway. Leverton looks up and doesn't go left. Ends up going right to Yates. She goes back down the line to Leverton, keeps it in, almost keeps it in. Ball got stuck under her feet, and the pressure from Haggerty was enough. Weeby, a wild clearance. And young Hani on for the first time today for Ipswich. Leverton with the ball, goes to Hani now on the left. almost goes through the middle, but her pass is picked off by Woodford and finds herself slipping over, going backwards. Woodford goes left foot at the shot, and the first real save from Kamelkis is a good one. She distributes to Hani, cuts back in on her right, goes to the centre for Yates. The pass is a little errant, but it is an Ipswich ball. Yates looks up. She goes over the top to Hani, and the Hani volley on the turn. Misses the back post. Good vision there from Yates. Good movement from Hani to find the space, and the shot just misses to the side. The ball from Kirkwood volleyed into the path of Yates from Woodford. She drives to the middle, has Hani there, goes herself, self-pass, doesn't quite work. Turns around and tracks back. Is another transition, quick transition from Arana. This is where they've been looking a little bit more dangerous. And the ball looked like it was going to get saved by Kamelkis, but McNamara takes no risks, sees that over the sideline. There's no pressure here on Weeby, who has a shot and fires it into the legs of Yates. Lines up again, goes again from distance, and it is high over the top from about 12 metres out that time. And Arana looking a little bit more attacking since the timeout. Ball's at Leviton's feet, she goes out to Yates. Hani is high, McNamara's left, now Leviton's left. They rotate around, they drop off. Oh, the ball from Leviton doesn't quite meet the run of Hani. And they reset. Loose player on the left here for Arana that she has picked up. They go down the middle to Haggerty. She's far enough away from Leviton to turn. She uses her speed to go around. Leviton cuts it back inside. The touch from Yates is enough. And Hani sees it out over the sideline. Woodford looks up. She's got Weeby back, but she goes down the line to Haggerty. It's a good ball. It's a good turn from Haggerty. She goes across the court to the path of Apps, but is well kept by Kamelki. She goes over the top to Yates. Her header is picked off by Arana. Kamelkis, sorry. Ball is picked off, intercepted by Hani, and Hani presses Woodford, now presses the keeper, and almost picks up a goal on debut on the first time on the court. It hits the back post. Ball's now at the feet of Leviton. She goes to Hani on the right. Hani shoots into the rear end of Weeby, and Weeby's deflection into the path of McNamara. Back to Yates. They're being driven back into their own half here by Arana. Goes out right. McNamara looks up, goes over the top to try and get it to Hani. Doesn't quite happen. Woodford, step over, passes to the centre. They reset to Weeby here. Pressed by Hani. McNamara there. Just a little bit too much room between her and Apps. And the ball is at the feet of Woodford. She steps in, steps out, goes far right, and the ball over the end line for a keeper's ball. Deflection there from Arana. We go back to the Kirkwood. Pressed by Hani. A little bit of a different energy with Hani on the court, pressing the keeper. Stevens on the court. She goes back to George, back on the pitch. Back to George, who's just stepped on for Leviton. She goes down the middle to Hani. Doesn't quite make her feet there. Yates is on the court, on the pitch as well for Ipswich. She's about to get subbed off for Naidu. Haggerty, after a good threatening stint there, has a break, and war is on for Arana. Ball for Woodford in the middle. She's met by Naidu. Finds it back to Apps down the left-hand side. Drops it off to Emily Weeby. She looks up. Wants to go right. Ends up going left, going back and out over the sideline. Pass just too far away from Woodford. Hani goes back to Naidu. She's got Stevens left. That's where she goes. Goes straight back. Tried to look for Hani or George and didn't find either. In the end, finds Apps, who goes right into the pocket where War is, and quick little kick in there before it's settled by Ipswich, but doesn't quite happen. Picked off there by Apps. Played the ball to War, and her shot is well saved by Kamelkis in the end. The ball from Woodford, War to Woodford, not shut down. Through those first two defenders from Ipswich. Pressed that time by Naidu. And outstretched leg of George sees it over for the third corner in a row. go diagonal there, picked off by Naidu and seen out by Stevens. Arnie has a break, and going back on is Kiara White, number 16 for Ipswich. Naidu sitting high in defence here. Ball goes back to Weeby. She drops it off to Stella, who thought she kept it in, but the referee disagreed. Stevens standing on the mark for Ipswich.
Make sure you're 5, yeah?
She has White back down the line. George, Farcourt, and Naidu floating around up top. She goes to White. She looks to go right. That's where she goes. Goes into the right channel. Naidu sits there as well. The ball goes back through the middle channel where White was, but doesn't quite make it to her. And a little bit of confusion there from Arana. Sees Ipswich with a kick in an attacking area. Stevens just holds outside the D. Naidu over near the keeper. George and White on the ball. Flicked in by White to George. George is picked off by Weeby, and that is Isabel Weeby on the pitch now. Emily Weeby with the ball. Woodford finding some space down the right side, opening up the court. War through the centre, that's where their target is, but they go right to Woodford. The ball back to Isabel Weeby through the centre of the court. It's a good ball and a great idea. Just a little bit too much power, just to lose the run of Isabel Weeby there. Naidu with the ball right in front of the keeper. She drives it forward. Her pass is picked off by Woodford, but she brings it back down the left channel now. Cuts inside Weeby. Cuts inside again. Picked off eventually by Weeby. And then the ball ricochets off Stevens out for a Arana kick in deep in their own half. Central to Kirkwood. Kirkwood just holding it. Finds War. War's ricocheted control into the path of George, and her ball went to the feet of Woodford, and Woodford drifted through the centre of the court. Her pass found the feet of Isabel Weeby, but it was well defended by Ella White, or Kiara White out there. Weeby with the ball. Emily Weeby with the kick in. She goes central to War. Pass was good enough to beat George, but also so good that it beat War as well. Naidu with the ball. She goes down, went to go down the line to White, intercepted by Woodford, and the ball found its way to the feet of War, but she was picked off by George. Naidu plays with Stevens at the back. Ball dribbles forward to the feet of Isabel Weeby. Her pass out to Emily Weeby is well defended there by Stevens. Pass down to War. She takes 1-2 touches down the right, cuts the ball into the centre of the court. Strong defence there by George, and War picks herself up. Free player there, Woodford in the centre of the court there. Ipswich will need to look to make sure they don't let that happen too often. Naidu with the ball. Off the pitch now is Stevens, and on the pitch is Parry for Ipswich. The run from George down the left. Found by Parry. She goes inside to where White is. The ball kept in by George. She takes one touch, looks up, has a shot, and drags it at the near post. The idea was right. Just didn't quite happen. Kirkwood with the ball. She's got the run of Emily Weeby down the right. She doesn't go there. She just drops it off to Isabel Weeby. Woodford with the ball, looks up to go in the middle, cut off, the passing lane cut off by Naidu, eventually goes across court to Isabel Weeby, and her touch inside cut off by Kiara White. Centre of the court, diagonal ball there, cut out by Parry. She takes 2 touches, 3 touches forward, 4 touches, and doesn't quite touch it past the outstretched feet of Emily Weeby. 7 seconds left in the first half of the new F-League women's season here at the Raptor Dome. Naidu goes central to George. She's got White left, goes down the middle to Parry. That's cut out by Isabel Weeby, picked up by Naidu, and that is that. Half-time here at the Raptor Dome. A solid start from Ipswich in the first 10 minutes. Then at 6 minutes 35 left on the clock, Arana had a timeout, and from that point on, they dominated possession and field position. The intervention happened when Harney came onto the court for Ipswich, pressed the keeper, found the back post, but it ricocheted out safely for Arana. And at halftime here at the Ripley Valley State Secondary College Raptor Dome, it is Ipswich Futsal 0, Arana United 0. And welcome back to the second half here in this F League Round 1 fixture between Ipswich Futsal and Arana United. Arana United's first game in the F League since 2022, and Ipswich are back for their 6th season in a row since the F League restarted in 2021. Ipswich starting with the ball there. They've got themselves a few different people on the court to start this half. McNamara at the back in the number 6. Number 12 is Ayana. Missed that clutch chance at the back post from the run of Yates, who is also on the court on the far side. Number 9 and number 15 on the near side is Ella White. For Arana, we have Estella Woodford here, number 46. At the back there is absolute ball from White. Woodford just triples out. The number 4 is a Weeby. That is Isabel Weeby. Also on the court, pressing high here is Haggerty. Number 42, Rachel Haggerty. And at the back is... So on the other side is Emily Weeby. The ball from Yates can't quite find Ayana, and it is cleared by one of the Weeby 2. All the way through for a keeper's ball. So the head-to-head record between these two teams over the lifetime of all competitions is 6-1 to Arana. However, F League just the one season meeting in 2022. And it was 1 win each at the away venues that time round. Yates with the ball, takes 1 or 2 touches. Haggerty works well, but doesn't quite win the ball back. Yates, again, ball just bounces off the heel, and it's reset for Woodford. She goes back to Emily Weeby. Her ball is strongly defended by McNamara into the path of Yates, and the ball from Yates just behind the run of Ella White. For those wondering if they can see male players on the far side of the court, there is another fixture at Ripley today on court number 2. It is South Brisbane and Salatine. At halftime over there, it was 3-0 to Salatine in their round 1 fixture. Yates with the ball. She's got White far right. White makes a run down the line, just checks back. McNamara goes back to Yates, makes a run through the centre of the court. They've got no defence, but that's okay. But McNamara with the toe over the top of the goal from Kirkwood, and it's good movement there from McNamara. A nice little 1-2 with Yates. And she wins herself to the ball, but it trickles to Kamelkis for Ipswich in goal. Tiffany Rose, Kamelkis, that is. Yates and Woodford battling with the ball over on the side there, and ends up with a corner, an Arana corner. Kamelkis sets up Yates and White. Ball comes out, trickles out to Weeby, and it is an excellent strike from Isabel Weeby that opens up the game here. The scoring in the F League, and the corner hit nicely there to the right foot of Weeby. She took 1 touch, no pressure or press from the Ipswich team, and she smacked it across the face of goal to make it Arana United 1, Ipswich Futsal 0, with 18 minutes left in this round 1 fixture. Ball now with Woodford again in that right-hand pocket. Well defended that time by Yates. She goes to the centre of the court to McNamara. She turns out Isabel Weeby, the goal scorer. And tries to get a shot away, but it goes out for a corner. McNamara picks herself up now. It's Apps on the court with... She was the one that played the corner into the path of Weeby. Gets the ball from... Ooh. Deflection there. Ayana with the shot. deflected off the foot of Arana, but both teams were happy to accept the corner, but the referee decided it was a keeper's ball instead. Haggerty takes a touch back into her own space, finds Emily Weeby. She goes out right to Woodford, almost picked off by Yates. Instead it ends up at the feet of Yates. She drops it off to Haggerty. Haggerty goes back to Weeby, back out to Apps, who's rotated well. Pressed there by Ayana, but the ball finds its way back to the feet of Woodford. Yates tries to step in, doesn't quite make it. McNamara pushes through Weeby with her defending, and the shot from out wide from Ayana through the hands of Kirkwood, and she levels up the score by Ayana. Looks in a fair bit of discomfort there. Heavy work here from McNamara on the right side of the court. The ball ended up at the feet of Ayana, and her shot across the keeper slips through the hands of Kirkwood, and we are 1-1 here in the Raptor Dome with Ayana on the scoreboard for the first time this season. Annabelle Ayana. So goals in the 22nd and 23rd minutes have really started this game quickly. Annabelle Ayana does not look like she's going to come back on the court at the moment. Georgia George stepping onto the court for Annabelle. She's being treated over on the far side of the court. The referee's deciding if there's enough room off the court there for the play to continue. Unfortunate mistake from Kirkwood, usually very solid in goals there. But the shot was hit with some power from Ayana. Going to move Ayana over to a position a little bit further away from the court. And she gets clapped off by the supporters here. And we reset. Haggerty goes back to Isabel Weeby. She goes out right to Woodford, and they rotate with Apps on the ball now. Weeby's on the right again, Woodford on the left, Haggerty up high. Instead, the ball goes to Woodford. She goes back to Weeby, and Kiara White picks the ball off Weeby, and the ball trickles out for a corner. Connor George, the coach, rejoining his bench after tending to his player on the far side of the court. Kiara White sends it back to McNamara, and the step over from George wasn't quite enough to fool the defenders. They got themselves in a good position to ensure the shot went wide. Yates works her way back well, drags it back, beats the defender, plays it to McNamara. She takes a touch down the right, 2 or 3 touches now. Goes back to Yates. She's got George White, but she went down the middle to Kiara White, and it didn't quite happen, but the ball is played out of play from Isabel Weeby. 1-1 here in the Raptor Dome. 16-9 left on the clock in this round 1 fixture. Georgia George goes down the center of the court to McNamara. Doesn't make it. Picked off by Isabel Weeby, and her shot/pass drives into the feet of Kiara White and out over the sideline, and she is off the pitch for her sister Emily Weeby, who will take the line. She'll be looking for that space that Isabel was afforded earlier in the half from a similar angle. Instead, she gets closer, and Kiara White steps in and wins the kick in for Ipswich. 3 players up on the bench here for Ipswich. Naidu, Harney and Leverton. All the in-out ball there from McNamara to Yates was excellent. The touch from Yates just a little too heavy, and the ball ends up at the feet of Apps for Arana. She drags it right across the court. White tracks her all the way, does enough to make her square it back up. Touch from Haggerty down the line into the path of George and out over for a kick in. Woodford on the ball. She plays it back to Weeby. Weeby takes a touch, cuts right, opens up the space for a shot, and it's well shut down eventually by Ipswich. And a comedy of miss kicks sees the ball cleared eventually to Kirkwood. She looks up, drops it left to Emily Weeby. She goes right across court to Apps, drags it in off the sole of her right, Has a runner going through the centre now. That's Woodford. Chooses not to go there. Goes to Weeby back. And is well defended by Woodford, by George there eventually, but the ball was out before any foul was made. Kiara White is off. Harney is back on. The ball from McNamara only finds the feet of Woodford, and the save low to her right was excellent from Kamelklis. And the shot from Woodford was also excellent. Sideline ball here for Haggerty, and her shot hits the crossbar and bounces into the path of George. Whilst that was all happening, McNamara came off the court and Leverton went on, and she plays the ball through the legs of multiple people and into the Arana defensive half. War back on for Haggerty now. And both teams have rotated their benches, started to rotate their benches at the start of the half. Yates getting called off. She'll go off for Naidu. Kamelkis with the ball, rolls it to Leverton. Leverton holds it, waits for her players to get in position. Goes to George, goes back across court to Leverton. They're opening up some space here. George hugging the right sideline here. And the ball doesn't quite make its way through to Harney up top. Ends up at the feet of Apps. She cruises around Leverton, and the shot then from Woodford on the far right is tipped over the bar from Kamelklis, and Stella Woodford looking dangerous and more dangerous as the half goes on. The ball will be played from War down that right channel. The block will be run by Apps. The shot will be taken by Woodford. It's deflected into the path of Weeby, but then defended by Harney and George. Woodford to Weeby, deflected by Harney. Path of Leverton, and a ricochet off the foot of Weeby there. Press there, Harney pressing again, Kirkwood. A shin pad goes flying. Naidu takes the ball. George steps in the way of the defender, but you've got a bodyguard style system happening here with first aid and the player. And we have an Ipswich corner in the corner. Well, not quite a corner. Ipswich kick in. Naidu on the ball. George short on the line. Harney in the middle. Arana may have stepped in there before the ball was released, and it is a keeper's ball. Harney stepping in to defend one of the Weeby sisters there for Arana, but the 1-2 didn't quite work out between her and Woodford, and it ended up with the Ipswich keeper. Leverton looks up. She's got a runner up top. That's Harney. She splits now. The ball goes between her and George Wright, and couldn't quite wrap her foot around it there. Leverton get a pass or shot away, and in the end flies safely into the hands of Kirkwood. The ball 1-2 in and out there between Woodford and Apps. Just sits. George to Naidu. She looks up. She's got Harney in the middle of the court as her target. She drops it off to Leverton. She looks up and goes towards down the line. She made a run down the line and then played the ball to the middle where Naidu was, and the return ball didn't quite happen. Played across court there by Emily Weeby. Picked off by Harney. Harney still with the ball. The ball finds its way to the feet of Leverton, and her shot, not enough power to beat Kirkwood from there. George then pressed by Wall, but Harney over there in the corner pressing and trying to beat Woodford does get the ball back. Did an excellent job, almost assisting there. Naidu steps out to Woodford. Woodford beat her, and then intercepted by Harney. Leverton with the ball now, goes towards Harney. Beats her, but ball ends up finding its way off the feet of Wall and out for an Ipswich ball. Very promising attacking area. Leverton's down the line. Harney looks up. Naidu makes a run the opposite way. Goes from Leverton towards the back post, but George didn't quite break out far enough for it to be effective. Ella White and Parry about to go on for Ipswich. Oh, that is a very handball there from young Apps. Erin Apps on the right side of the court. Parry now looks up. She's got Hani and Naidu there. She plays this miss-hit pass to the middle, and it was enough for Isabel Wiebe to press and win possession, but Leverton did enough to keep the ball well away from the Ipswich goal. Parry and Leverton, little 1-2 to break the line. That's what they do. They end up at the feet of Parry. Goes back to Naidu. It's a 3v4, but Ipswich had the momentum. It's a good reset there from Arana. Ball with Naidu. She tries to find Parry down the line in the corner, but the pass ricochets off Wall. Parry with the ball. She goes back to Leverton. She's got all three options in front of her, right, left, and middle. She beats the first defender, goes to Naidu, flicks it out right to Hani. Hani just has a mix-touch there, and the ball dribbles out over the sideline. A lot more dynamic Ipswich since they conceded. But again, back to the start of the first half where Ipswich were a little bit more dynamic, creating more opportunities, but the counter-attack and transition from Arana was excellent. Just need to make sure they stay focused here, Ipswich. Naidu rolls it to Leverton, who then goes around her. She plays it to Hani. Hani cuts inside, goes across to Parry. Parry with a little bit of space at the back post there. Can't quite get a shot away with power. Kirkwood does well. Goes to Isabel Wiebe. Goes far across court to Apps. Her pass is blocked by Hani. Parry now picks off Emily Wiebe, sorry. Wasn't Isabel Wiebe before. Now it's Isabel Wiebe. She plays the ball to the feet of Aisha Naidu. Ball out to Leverton, out to Hani. Goes across court, not enough angle to find Parry. Picked off by Emily Wiebe. She drives towards Naidu, and Naidu just casually defends the ball out over the sideline. Hani off now for Ella White. We are 1-1 here in the first half of the second half of the round 1 F League women's clash between Ipswich Futsal and Arana United. 10 minutes and 22 seconds to go. Ball there trickles out over the sideline from a potential shot/pass that didn't quite happen. Naidu looks up. She goes square to Leverton. Leverton's ball diagonal, looking for Parry, but the angle in the pass wasn't quite on. The idea was good, didn't quite happen. War with a lot of space to turn down the right there. Used her body well, but her shot sails past the back post. Leverton looks up. Parry down the right. She goes short to White. White still has Parry there. Goes cross court to Leverton. Leverton looks up. She's got Naidu down the left. She goes to Naidu, and the foot in from Emily Wiebe. Keeps it there. And that is a timeout for Arana United. So with 9 minutes and 49 seconds left in this fixture, we are Ipswich Futsal 1, Arana United 1. 22 minutes, Isabel Wiebe scored from a corner, and then at 23 minutes, Annabelle Ayana, hurting herself in the process, blasted one from just outside the box, just outside the D, through the hands of Catherine Kirkwood to level up the scores. FFM would like to also invite everyone to make sure that they are on their social media accounts. The Alex and Lockie at FFM have put up some predictions for the F League season. Feel free to get on there and comment and disagree or agree and have your say as well. They've also head-to-head, they'll go through a little head-to-head meetings every week as well, and every round of the F League, just to keep you up to date with the latest that's happening with futsal. While we're here, Ipswich Futsal would also like to thank their sponsors, their platinum sponsor Tranto Logistics, their gold sponsor, silver sponsor CSI Club Services Ipswich, and their bronze sponsor Athlete's Foot at Springfield. as well as their apparel partner, Statewide Sports, the supplier of Yule Sport products in Australia. The ball fired into the hand of Ella White there. And again, it could be a timeout that sparks Arana back into action here. The ball, almost at the feet of Parry. Emily Wiebe turned the right way, got a foot in the way there. Parry drops it off to Leviton. She looks up, has a few options. Parry is still the best one, that's where she goes. Stevens drifts to the middle of the court, but the ball from Parry was a good one. Just couldn't get a foot on it there, was Ella White. Leviton picks it off in the middle of the court, plays it out to Ella White. She takes one touch with her right, tries to cut it onto her left. It just doesn't quite happen, and it dribbles out for a keeper's ball. Kirkwood goes long to Haggerty, and she, on her turn, gets a touch from Leviton. The referees don't see anything wrong with it. Entirely an accident. Could have been a foul. But she will sub herself off. Will Rachel Haggerty. Unfortunate collision there between Haggerty and Leviton. She makes her way back to the bench, and Woodford makes her way back on the court. Apps drops it off to Isabel Wiebe. Goes out right to Emily Wiebe, who goes square to Apps. They can play a little 1-2. Leviton gets in the way. Played their 1-2 around Stevens, and Stevens was transitioning back through the middle and got in the way of the Leviton clearance. Apps looks up. She goes. Both the Wiebes back behind her. Went through for Woodford, doesn't quite happen. Parry with the ball, drops it off to Ella White, back to Parry. It's a good little 1-2, and Parry's possession gets knocked out over the sideline. Leviton's back at the halfway, that's where Parry goes. She's got Stevens right, White in the middle. She goes down the middle of the court to White. White works to try and get it back out to Parry, doesn't quite happen. Stevens tries to bully her way through. And ends up with the feet of White. She goes into the corner where Parry is, and Parry takes a first-time shot from a very tough angle and doesn't get anywhere near enough power. And it's well saved by Kirkwood. The ball at Emily Wiebe. Her pass cut out by Leviton. Stevens then was the recipient of the pass, and that goes to White again into the corner where Parry is, and her shot hits the outside netting. Long ball from Kirkwood into the space where Woodford was running, but Woodford wasn't fast enough to meet the ball. Leviton drops it off to Stevens. She plays it out to Parry, back to Stevens. Oh, the touch from Stevens is heavy, and Woodford almost picks it off, but Stevens recovers well and sees it out safely. Pressure now applied by Arana. Could that swing things a little bit? The ball played into the path of Emily Wiebe, and her shot fires off to the right. So lucky to get away with that one there, Ipswich. Kiara White replacing Ella White on the pitch. Leviton with the ball, drags it left, goes out over the top into space, but there's no runner there for Ipswich. Parry presses the fix, and the turn there from Woodford initially beat Leviton, but Leviton worked her way well there to get herself in a position to intercept the ball. Parry drifts across to Isabel Wiebe, who's passed to Woodford. He's played down the line to Emily Wiebe, but well picked off by Stevens. In the F-League men's round 1 fixture on court 2 here in the Raptor Dome, it is now Sulla time 4, South Brisbane 0. That is the F-League men's round 1 fixture here in the Raptor Dome. Leviton with the ball. Beats Woodford eventually. It's a nice turn. Goes to Kiara White. The ball ricochets back into the path of Leviton. She finds Parry. Parry with it back to goal. Plays it back to Leviton, who has to do a little bit of extra running. A little bit of beat test here for Leviton. The ball finds its way to Kiara White. Her touch ends up at the feet of Parry eventually, and her shot is snatched at and drifts off to the left side of the court. Apps with the ball now in an attacking position for Arana. She drops it off to Isabel Wee. She plays it out to Stella Woodford. Apps with the ball again. Drives to the centre of the court, and the angled pass to Haggerty is well defended there from Amelia Parry. And Haggerty back on the court after taking a little knock earlier. Corner from Arana to Haggerty, and it's saved well by the knees of Kamelkas down low at the near post. And Parry tries to find a way around Haggerty and doesn't. And that was an excellent shot from Haggerty, an exceptional save at the near post from Kamelkas. And it is Ipswich Futsal 1, Arana United 1 with 6 minutes 20 left on the clock in this round 1 F League fixture. Five 0 to Sala on the far side of the court, on the court 2 here at the Raptor Dome. McNamara, George, and Harney on now for Ipswich on the pitch, as well as Ella White. Ball from George to Harney. Harney with the back to goal, turns, tries to press. George almost picks it off. He's picked off then by Woodford, and McNamara does the clean-up work with Haggerty at the end. Earlier in the day, down at Foxwell State College, it was Crusaders FC 2, River City 2 in the F League Women. Isabel Weeb finds the ball back to Apps. She goes right to Haggerty, tries to cut it back through the run in the middle of the court to Woodford, but the ball is just behind them. George drops it off to Harney. She looks up, she's got White on the left. McNamara in the middle. McNamara trying to find some space. Harney's ball to George, followed by a run down the line. She now goes very high. The ball is across court to White. Harney gets a touch on it, it falls to the feet of the Arana players, and Ella White keeps it in. She goes through the legs of one of the Weeby sisters, Apps. No, it was the Weeby sisters, and Apps and Harney battle for the ball on the near side. McNamara pushing left, a little bit off balance here, Ipswich. The ball finds its way to the feet of Haggerty, and the loose player at the top was Apps, but they couldn't find her feet. Ella White with the ball, drops it off to Harney. She looks up, goes diagonal across court to George, but a pass was a flick and didn't quite have enough power. It's a 3v2 here for Arana. They go wide to Woodford. Woodford on the left foot, fires it at the near post, and an outstanding save from Kamelkas keeps the score at Ipswich Futsal 1, Arana United 1 with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. A shot fired from the corner of the left foot of Haggerty, but it misses everything and ends up on the stage. Kamelkas drops it off to George. She looks up, has McNamara right, White left, Harney in the middle. She goes to McNamara, makes a run across the court. McNamara drops it off to White. She goes diagonal to Harney, who's possibly a little early. The ball ends up at the feet of Haggerty, and Haggerty down the centre of the court has the opportunity to make it 2-1, but the intervention from Kamelkas and goals keeps the score at Ipswich Futsal 1, Arana 1. And brave keeping there to put enough pressure on Haggerty. George with the ball. She's got McNamara left. Went to sort of go short. Ends up finding a flick through the middle, and they reset. Naidu on the court for Ella White. Haggerty gets a touch, gets in front of George, plays a wonderful diagonal ball to War down the left, and again the shot from War hits the outside netting. Kamelkas plays the ball to McNamara. George off the court now, Leverton back on. Harney splits right. Leverton takes the fixo position. Loads of space on the right. Leverton with the ball. Naidu makes the run. Oh, the ball just misses the outstretched foot of Hani. Naidu defending down the centre of the court from Emily Weeby. Her ball drifts away. Leverton with the ball. Drives forward, drops it off to Hani. She's got Naidu down the right. She flicks it over the top to McNamara. The ball ends up at the feet of Naidu. Still at her feet. She's drifting in and out with it. Defended by Apps there. And Arana win the kick in. Ball played across the court. Well read by Hani. Takes a touch. Oh, doesn't quite get a second touch on it. And well kept from Kirkwood. But well read by young Hani in the first place. The ball rolled out to Apps on the right side of the court, and it rolls out for an Ipswich kick in. Leverton with the ball. She looks up, goes left, right to Naidu. She finds McNamara, almost finds McNamara, wins the kick in. Naidu with the ball down the line. Gets it off to Leverton. She looks up, goes to Hani on the left. Hani's touch is a heavy one, and there's no run diagonal. It's a ball into space. There probably should have been a run there, but there wasn't this time for Ipswich. 2 minutes 58 left on the clock. Ipswich Futsal 1, Arana United 1. Diagonal ball from Arana, ricocheted into War, whose pass to Haggerty was a good one. The touch was the part that let them down that time. Naidu plays it square to Leverton. Opens up the space. Oh, trying to find the run of McNamara. It just wasn't quite there. Hani there. Holds up Haggerty. Picks the ball off. Has Aisha Naidu to the right. Held it for a touch too long. War now transitions the other way and drives it with her right foot beyond the back post. Leverton with the ball. Parry and Yates about to come back on for Ipswich. Hani takes a touch, looks forward, got McNamara down the line. Naidu cuts through the middle, the square is Leverton. That's where they go. Ball is diagonal to McNamara, takes a touch, lines up a shot and fires it past the back post. An excellent ball from Leverton. Wound up there by McNamara, and the shot just fires past the back post. And Ipswich almost had a chance to take the lead with 2 minutes left. The ball finds its way to Parry, drops it off to McNamara. She goes down in the middle of the court. Emily Weeby knocks two of the Ipswich players over. And then the ball fires off. Grace Yates out for an Arana kick in. 1 minute 53 left. Parry's back up. Ball played through the centre of the court, picked off by Leverton. She looks up, goes to McNamara right. Her ball doesn't find its way through the Yates. Instead, it's a 3v1 for Arana. Keeper stays on a line, does come out in the end. Excellent intervention from Kamelkis. McNamara tries to transition the other way, and Ipswich are in the way. Yates with the ball. George is on the court now. McNamara takes leave. Flicks it over to Parry, doesn't quite make it. Intercepted there. Grace Yates and almost picks the ball off. Ball finds its way to Grace Yates. She goes one-on-one with the keeper. Kirkwood with an excellent save. George with the follow-up shot and misses to the right of the goal to Kirkwood's left. But Ipswich starting to find a bit of space at the back here. Both teams pushing for a winner. It's always good to start the season with a win. It looks like the game is finished on court 2. Malchus drops it to George. Plays it to Leverton. Back square to George. She takes a touch and finds Yates down the line. Yates looks to take on a player and then goes square to Leverton. She goes down the line to Parry and then eventually Woodford clears the space there for Arana. Leverton's down the line. George is at a 45. She goes sort of in between them there, Parry, but Leverton picks it up, goes down the middle, and there's nobody there. The transition was on there for Arana, and Leverton picked it up well. Kirkwood goes short left to Weeby. Oh, the out touch from Woodford is exceptional, and her ball, a diagonal ball across the face of goal, isn't able to be met by Isabel Weeby, but the touch from Woodford was exceptional to start with. Yates goes forward, drives forward, plays it to George. George goes down the line to Parry and picks up a touch from Isabel Weeby. 25 seconds left.
25 seconds left.
Yates drifting off the back post. Leverton in the centre of the court. Takes a touch. And plays it back to George. George has got some space, takes a touch, hits it with a toe. And it's well saved by Kirkwood. 16 seconds left. And that's a timeout for Ipswich. 16 seconds left. They'll try and run a corner play here, see if they can sneak a goal. And take a round 1 victory. With 16 seconds left, we have Ipswich Futsal 1, Arana United 1. Again, the score in the F-League men's round 1 fixture on court 2 was Salatime 5, South Brisbane 1. So congratulations to the Salatime men for getting their season off to a winning start. Connor George, the coach of Ipswich Futsal, going through a set piece. Let's see what they can do here. Yates, Parry, Leverton, George on the court. Kamelklis will be the line of defence. Yates holds wide right. Diagonal. Leverton down the line. Woodford will be charging at her. It goes to Leverton. She takes a touch in. Goes down the line. George has reset from Parry, but Parry's shot is well saved by Kirkwood. 6 seconds left. She goes long to Woodford. Takes a touch into the path of Parry, and the ball ends up at the feet of Leverton, and that is time. Round 1, 2026 F-League Women's Season. Game 1 finishes Ipswich Futsal 1, Arana United 1, here in the Ripley Valley State Secondary College Raptor Dome. Goals. After a goalless first half, it was Isabel Weeby that opened the scoring off a corner in the 22nd minute, and then shortly after, at 23 minutes, Annabelle Iana levelled it up with a shot blasting through the hands of Catherine Kirkwood in goals. As she was shooting, injured her knee, and that was that for her. Some enterprising play at the end there. Ipswich pushing and pushing for a win. Arana transitioning and trying to sneak their own. But that is how it ends today. Thank you for joining us for the first broadcast of the 2026 F-League season. We'll be back in just over half an hour's time with the men. On behalf of Lockie and Alex at FFM, myself, Ben Charmer, thank you for joining us today. Round 1, F-League 2026, Ipswich Futsal 1, Arana United 1.
And here comes